Thank you. This is the ARM Springfield meeting agenda for August the 19th of 2025, starting at exactly 6 p.m. I'm Mayor Patrick Therrien, calling the meeting to order. All councillors are present. I'll introduce them. Deputy Mayor Glenn Fuel, Councillors Kaczynski, Miller, and Warren. We're all in front here. I'll go to land acknowledgement there. The ARM of Springfield acknowledges that we are gathered on ancestral lands, Treaty 1 territory, traditional territory Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, Dene peoples, and on the national homeland of the Red River Métis. We have the agenda that's before us, but there's two corrections to be made on that. Council should be aware of that through an email earlier today, but we're going to add to the closed meeting a sale of a land discussions and the removal of July financial statements. So your agenda may or may not have that, but that's the corrections that we want. Any issues or concerns from council with regards to the agenda, given those changes? I see none. Could I get a show of hands, or can I get a mover and a seconder for the approval of the agenda, please? Kaczynski and Warren. I get a show of hands of those in support of the approval of the agenda as with the corrections. Is unanimous and is so carried. Adoption of the minutes, please. That's item number 5 on our agenda there. A mover and a seconder, please. Therrien and Warren. Any issues, concerns for the council meetings for July the 15th? I see none. If I can get a show of hands of those in support, please. That is unanimous and is so carried. We will go to item 6.1. That's elected officials reports there. Mover and a seconder, please. Councillors Warren and need somebody else. Miller. All the reports are there. Any questions? Councillor Miller.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have a question on your report. I tried to look through everybody's report, but I had some inquiry on yours specifically, and it had to do with your attendance at the Canada Day celebration, and thank you for doing that and representing us. But my question is, in that line item, it says you met with MLA Schuler, so I'm just inquiring what the meeting was perhaps about, and if it was fruitful, and if there's any movement forward, and any, I don't say any commitments, but anything that council should know and the general public as well from that.
No, there's nothing. It's very just meeting. They're talking about things, how hot of a day it was. I think we talked about the King sisters. Kathy came up to us there. So we didn't talk of anything of consequence to council at all. Just humorous talk there about the boot toss that was going to be happening at the Ag Festival there. So no, nothing of consequence at all.
Thank you for that. And I just have a couple other things to add to my material as well, if that's okay. Scio Silica, as you know, was in the news because of the Broken Head First Nation had a referendum, and that decision was decisive against it. And I was thrilled to see the result of the people of Broken Head First Nation saying that no, as basically a council, or at least some councillors here have done. We are anticipating that, at least if the news is correct, that Scio-Silica is going to forward their license back to Manitoba Environmental Approvals. They said within the week or so. So I think that was Carla Devlin that was quoted. That's the also not only the president of Scio-Silica, but as she acts as the mayor of the East St. Paul as well, so double duty. So I just want us to be prepared, and the people of Manitoba and the people of our community to be prepared that if Scio-Silica comes back to our community, that I'll be prepared to certainly review their file with impunity and justice. But if in any way it's going to affect our water, or if there's not significant differences to it, I will stand tall, and I will stand with the people of our community in Southeast Manitoba to fight for water protection going forward. So please, we need to be, as a council and as an RM, fully aware of where their application is in terms of the licensing process. The other thing, two other things I just wanted to mention is this afternoon, the public should know that our council met, I guess, privately with representatives from the Winnipeg Metropolitan Region, now spun to be the Capital Region Planning District, and their provincial officials from planning as well. And I think it was a fruitful meeting. But what I wanted to say is that it's important for our residents to know that they are coming together with a plan that's going to be a new plan, not the 2050 plan, but apparently a new revamped plan. I don't know how different it'll be until, of course, we read it, but that's anticipated, or they suggested it would be in the spring of 2026. So for our municipality, we have until October of 2026 to opt out. And there's repercussions, of course, in a whole variety of ways. But what I suggested to them, and as I think other members of council probably did and probably echo, is that we need to have strong dialogue with the public here in our community, as well as throughout the other 18 municipalities. Currently, there's 3 municipalities that have opted out or in the process of opting out, and I understand there might be more, but as I noted too, I think it's somewhat important to understand the process and see the document of what the promises will be, what the benefits will be for our community. So this is an ongoing thing, but before that plan comes to fruition, we absolutely need to engage with the public to make sure that we're listening and that we're representing them strongly. The final item I have, Councillor, is I've had a number of calls for concerns on Dundee Garson and Zora Road area, and they're very concerned about the road conditions, and I forward that to our CAO as well as our Public Works Department. But we need to put priority into roadworks and to maintain and to obviously ensure that our roads are not only great as they have been in the past, but that they don't deteriorate. And I know we've had heavy rains and volatile weather with dryness and all the rest of it, but I think we need to really focus on how we use resources in our RM. So in other words, as many of you know, I'm against going on a council staff retreat that's going to cost upwards of, I think, $10,000. I think that $10,000 or thereabouts, any thousands of dollars could be put into road repair and or maintenance. And so we need to really sharpen our pencils and put our priorities where our constituents are, not into supporting other rural municipalities in their lodging and their catering and everything else. I think that's a little bit misguided, but that's one opinion out of 5. So that's all I want to share. Thank you.
Thank you. Just in response to Councillor Miller, with regard to CIO Silica, it hasn't changed there if that's a provincial mandate there. Our statements, I don't, we are on record, or I should say, we are on record as a council as being neutral for it at the first time with a letter to the CLC saying that we will not condone or whatever the exact verbiage was, but we will not be supporting any mining of the aquifer if it will have a detrimental effect on our water. That's never changed. I myself, with council's permission, there did answer to two other statements as part of the CLC, and just reiterated our concern that we will not be supporting anything unless it's shown to be safe for our water. So that's not changed, and I don't know whether it's going to happen next week or whatever you're saying. I haven't heard anything about that, but as for the WMR, yes, we had a meeting at 3:30 p.m. till 5 p.m. today. It was very fruitful, very wholesome discussions there, and all our answers were questions to our answers. Questions were answered there. We're also having on the 8th of September an open house there. Where is it? On the 8th, in Oak Bank at the Baptist Church? Oh, the Oak Bank Arena. So on the 8th of September, we're going to have an open house at the Oak Bank Arena there. And further than that, oh, I'm sorry, the 9th. Okay. And the staff retreat, as Councillor Miller had stated, will be in, I forget where that place is there. but it's an exercise that we did last year. It was very wholesome. It was very fruitful in that we were able to discuss council budgets going forward there, plus many other issues. So it was very well attended and extremely fruitful for the RM. I just wanted to discuss. Councillor Miller had asked about MLA Schuler. We did meet with our MP Colin Reynolds, the member of Parliament for Elmwood Transcona riding, which is essentially from Springfield Road south there, which our new rec center will fall under his mandate for the federal component of that. He's very new at the job. He's never been an MP before, so he was extremely very good discussions with him, and our hopefulness that there'll be some more money coming to us at every thing that we're looking to get, and particularly the rec center was part of that. So he's quite good at that. And we had met with MPs Falk and Dancho prior to that to another open house that he wasn't able to make soon after the election, actually, or soon before the election. And we did the same thing with those MPs, Falk and Dancho. Dancho is our new MP, which is north of Springfield, and 1 kilometer to the east there. So that's just open and transparent. And we did a tour of the Oakbank or the Dougal Place project with MP Reynolds. I put down here, I don't know if it's really, but I did say that he was a journeyman electrician, which is very nice to see that he's quite capable. Red Seal there for electrical work, so he was telling us how things are being done there. So that's my report there. Any other questions from council? I see none. Then can I get a show of hands, those in support of the elected officials' reports? That is unanimous and so carried. Let's go to 6.2, please. Departmental reports there. Mover and a seconder, please. Fuel and Kaczynski. Any issues, concerns from council with regards to those reports? I just, I have something for Public Works. I'm not sure if Blaine is on there. If he's not, then something maybe he can address at another time. I'm not sure about the black pipe repairs. He says that they're doing repairs on that. We've had it in there, like say 20 years now. Is it cost effective there? I've had many discussions with my neighbors who all have the piping there, and so there was issues, concerns with regards to that. But I'm wondering how it is for the taxpayers. Are we getting our money's worth out of it? Because they are deteriorating, and if they have to be replaced at some time. That's just an issue. That's something that maybe our CEO can bring up with Blaine or Mike at another time. And that's about it. Unless there's anything else, and I don't see anything, could I get a show of hands of those in support of adopting the departmental reports, please? Unanimous, so carried. When we go to bylaws, it's 8.1, please. Can I get a mover and a seconder for 2511 abandoned and derelict vehicle bylaw second reading? Miller and Fuel.
Be it resolved that second reading be given to bylaw number 25-11, being a bylaw of the RM of Springfield to regulate the parking and storing of abandoned and derelict vehicles within the municipality.
Questions from council at all? I see none. With that being read, second reading, can I get a show of hands? Those in support? As unanimous and so carried. And we'll go to 8.2, that's bylaw 2511 under the same name, third reading. Mover and a seconder, please. Warren and Kaczynski.
Be it resolved that third and final reading be given to bylaw number 2511, being a bylaw of the RM of Springfield to regulate the parking and storing of abandoned and derelict vehicles within the municipality.
Questions, concerns, council? I see none. I get a show of hands, those in support of the third reading. That is unanimous and is so carried. We'll go to 8.3, please. 2512 Unsightly bylaw second reading. Mover and a seconder for 8.3, please. Warren and Fuel.
Be it resolved that second reading be given to bylaw number 25-12, being a bylaw of the RM of Springfield to maintain property and to regulate unsightly property within the municipality.
Questions from council? I see none. With that being read, can I get a show of hands of those in support of 8.3? That is unanimous and so carried. 8.4, bylaw 2512 under the same name, unsightly bylaw. Mover and a seconder, please, for that. Warren and Terrian. Mispronounced my own name.
Be it resolved that third and final reading be given to bylaw number 25-12, being a bylaw of the RM of Springfield to maintain property and to regulate unsightly property within the municipality.
Can I get a show of hands, those in support? That is unanimous and carried. Take a break. Whew. All right, where were we? 8.5?
Yep.
8.5 is bylaw 2513, approach bylaw, first reading. A mover and a seconder, please. Miller and Warren.
Be it resolved that first reading be given to bylaw number 25-13, being a bylaw of the RM of Springfield to provide certain restrictions as to location, construction, and number of exits from and entrances to private property via municipal roads.
Any questions from council with regards to the first reading? And I see none. With that being read, can I get a show of hands, those in support of the first reading, item 8.5? That is unanimous and is carried. Next one will be a consent agenda. If we can do items 10.1, 2, 2.1, and item number 3 as a consent agenda. Is council agreement with that? Let's see nods from everybody there. If we can get a resolution read for the consent agenda, we can vote.
I just need a mover and seconder, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got a mover and a seconder, Fuel and Kaczynski.
Whereas the consent agenda has been submitted consisting of 4 items, be it resolved that the said consent agenda be received as information.
With that being read, can I get a show of hands of those in support of the consent agenda, those items? That is unanimous and so carried. Under new business, 11.1, that's a tax sale reserve bid. A mover and a seconder for that, please. Terrian and Warren.
Whereas pursuant to Section 372 of the Municipal Act, the municipality may set a reserve bid in the amount of the tax arrears and costs in respect of the property. Be it resolved that the RM of Springfield place a reserve bid on all properties in the amount of all arrears and costs in respect of each property for the tax sale to be held November 13th, 2025.
Thank you. Any questions, concerns from council? I see none. If I can get a show of hands, those in support of 11.1 tax sale reserve bid. That is unanimous and so carried. 11.2, it's the Rail Safety Week. Mover, seconder, please. Terrian and Warren.
Be it resolved that the RM of Springfield support National Rail Safety Week to be held from September 15th to 21st, 2025.
Thank you. Those, any questions from council with regards to this? If I can get a show of hands of those in support of Rail Safety Week under new business. Unanimous and so carried. 11.3 is Red River Basin Commission Manitoba North Chapter meeting. Can I get a mover or seconder, please? Fuel and Warren.
Be it resolved that all council members be delegated to attend the Red River Basin Commission Manitoba North Chapter meeting being held September 18th at the RM of Taché at their discretion.
Thank you. Any questions, council, at all? I see none. Can I get a show of hands of those in support of 11.3? That is unanimous and so carried. 11.4 is a list of accounts. Mover and a seconder, please. Terrian and Warren.
Whereas disbursements have been reviewed for the period of July 15th to August 12th, be it resolved that all accounts listed on the attached printout from check 162864 to 163013, totaling $2,693,193.68, and EFT number 137 to number 202, totaling $595,331, be approved for payment, as well as the following withdrawals. Western Financial 564626, Amelia 24849, Petro Pass 40112, John Deere 2614686, RBC Visa 2134393, Manitoba Hydro 3112135, Volvo 20,898.98, and Red River Co-op 45,501.42. And be it further resolved that July payroll in the amount of $336,088.19 be approved.
Thank you. Questions from council with regards to this item? Councillor Miller?
Thank you, Mayor. Just one question. It has to do with expenditure EFT 167 Force Excavating Company for $13,799.63. And I just want to make it known that unfortunately I wasn't able to see, of course, the exact invoices for these items, but as I understand, the CEO would make those available to any member of council at any particular point. So, but yeah, specifically this one, if you could indicate what that is or get back to us on what it is.
Yeah, I can get back to council on that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from council? I see none. Then if I get a show of hands of those in support under list of accounts 11.4. That is unanimous and so carried. Then we'll go to 11.5, a statement, financial statements, financial statement for June 2025. Mover and a seconder, please. Warren and Terrian.
Be it resolved that the financial statement for June 2025 be approved as presented.
Questions, concerns for June 2025 financial statement from council? I see none. If I get a show of hands of those in support the financial statement for June. As unanimous and so carried. 11.6 council meeting schedule. I wonder if I get a mover and a seconder for that, please. Miller and Terrian.
Be it resolved that the council meeting schedule be amended as follows. Cancel September 9th, Committee of the Whole. Cancel October 7th, council meeting. And change October 14th, Committee of the Whole meeting to a council meeting at 6 p.m.
Issues, concerns from council, questions? Councillor Kaczynski.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to know why we're canceling these meetings. Is there explanation for it?
The first September, or the September 9th is when my administrators conference is being held. So I will not be here. So we didn't have a lot of items that were piling up for Committee of the Whole. So I'm just recommending that we cancel that. The October 7th council meeting is when our training session would be taking place. So we're looking at changing the next Committee of the Whole to a council meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from council? I see none. If I can get a show of hands for item 11.6, council meeting schedule, those in support. That is unanimous and so carried. If I can, we'll go to a close meeting there. Can I get a mover and a seconder to go into a close meeting, please? Kaczynski and Warren. And we'll go into a closed meeting at 6:24 p.m.
Just need a vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can we get a show of hands of those in support? That is unanimous and so carried.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Thank you. It's 8:11 p.m. We are coming out of in camera there. I'm going to get a mover and a seconder to come out of in camera. Miller and Warren. And then we'll go to adjournment there. Can I? Oh, yeah. Can I get a vote on that? That is unanimous, carried. We'll go to adjournment. Any issues or concerns going into adjournment? Mover and a seconder for that. Tarian and Kaczynski there, and show of hands for adjournment. Unanimous, and we're going to close it down at 8:12 p.m. Thank you very much.